Hello, everybody. Today is March 5th, 2024. It's a SIG Node weekly meeting. Welcome, everybody. This meeting is one day before the code freeze for 1:30. So let's try to see how much agenda we have, and if we will have any free time, we need to concentrate on reviews and getting things into 1:30.
So correction. So it's actually later today if you're looking at US time. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
6 Pacific. Yep.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. It's even closer than I thought. So if we have any topics that can be postponed, we can postpone them, but let's see what we have. Static CPU manager, Satiris?
Yes. So, hi everyone. As part of the PR I'm working with, the static CPU management policy alongside in-place pod vertical scaling, I had some good reviews from Francesco and team. Thanks for that. Now, the next step is for me to add the unit and end-to-end tests to gain confidence about the proposed change and refactor a bit the commit. But the core functionality, I'm very confident that it delivers what it promised. So this is the reason I put it in the agenda, and I would appreciate, if possible, more eyes on it before I proceed with the updates and starting creating the tests, and to let me know of your thoughts. And lastly, I would like to ask, because I don't know the process, if you think a cap is required, then please let me know if then I need to do something more. So that's what I have. And are there any questions or suggestions?
So I would suggest going back to the original cap for in-place VPA and the reason why it was not considered in scope, and maybe we just do an update to that cap at minimum.
Thanks. That's a good point. I checking a little bit about the cap, and I have linked it with this PR. I noticed that it was already mentioned, this limitation, as point number 10. And I have commented in this cap as well to create awareness of this proposal. I don't know if this is sufficient or...
I guess I will have to go take a look at that. I mean, more folks on the call and then make a call whether we need a new announcement or an update to the existing one is sufficient. I don't know. Don, John, what do you guys think?
Yeah, this is my personal opinion, but I might be wrong because I haven't looked at that detail. I also prefer to comment on the existing one and improve over the existing one. But I might be wrong because based on if we can extract this one to unblock some other effect, so I need to take a look more.
Okay, thanks. I will put in the chat the link where I'm referring to this point. Thanks.
Does it change APIs or anything, or it just
No, it is just improving the CPU static. As it is now, it doesn't function at all. And the proposal allows to do the CPU management policy alongside in-place pod vertical scaling only for pods that they are currently have isolated CPUs. So I have excluded going from shared pool to allocated pool and vice versa, because there are some known limitations already known that this creates some problems due to the downcasting from float to integer. So in the current solution, it is working for already isolated CPUs to downscale or upscale.
Yeah.
So
that would seem like an update there to the existing. Okay.
Okay.
So I just want to mention one thing. I know we the SIG Node community, because the VPA feature is being there for long, but it's just so complicated. So we try 3 times, sometimes. So finally we have agreed, like community wide, even like Team Hacking also agree about the API. So we plan to make more progress for next, but not this one because it's too late. So next one, so we actually have the active member is going to working on at least one and working on to make that it is move to next stage. So so if we could just go to the old the current one, so we can address those problems together, will be better. But I understand people try to extract something small and they make some small progress. It's just because we as a group, a community, and we didn't make progress last couple release. There's many reasons. So I just apologize that, but we do plan to make progress next release.
And Don, I just wanted to highlight the fact that after alpha of in-place vertical autoscaling, we get overwhelming feedback that people won't update API. So they want APIs that will guarantee no restart. And this is not what we designed originally. So it's not as trivial as let's get and refactor code a little bit implementation-wise and release it. It's also addressing the feedback and reviewing the API as well. So it's not as straightforward.
There's the option. You could fail update, right? Without restart. But you cannot, like especially for the scale down, you cannot guarantee there's always no restart. So we can address that one. We talk about that back and forth. So we also in the reality we also understand that's impossible unless you enable more advanced of the memory feature, but not all the next compression even compression memory, and you still could be sometimes there's no way you have to restart. So there's no 100 guarantee no matter what we are doing.
We can design it right now, but my point is that there is overwhelming feedback when people assume it wouldn't restart and build a feature assuming that. And they got really surprised when it in fact been restarted.
Got. Yeah, let's carry those the further discussion and make sure the documentation, all those kind of things explained to match customers, the users' needs.
Okay. So thank you for your
Thanks.
input. Thank you.
Okay, next item on our agenda is from Kevin. Kevin, do you want to speak up?
Why don't you can refresh. I moved it to next week, both of my items.
Oh, okay, for some reason it wasn't real time, but yeah. The next one is Dixie then, Dixie and Anish.
We can't hear you. You're
I see you unmuted yourself, but we cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So this is just us trying to say that we are seeking some help for the SIG Node CI weekly. We'll be doing some bug triaging tomorrow at 10 a.m. PST to see what bugs are critical for the release and would need some help in fixing whatever bugs we find out tomorrow. That's all.
Yeah. Thank you, Dixie. We fell behind on assigning priority to bugs. We've been concentrated on just understanding what's happening and forgot about priority. So assigning priority and fixing, trying to get owners for what is critical for the release is very important. So yeah, please join us tomorrow. Okay, next item is Peter. Some old PR or like old feature, rather.
Yeah, well, this is so we're attempting to update the proc mount type to beta. In the code review, we talked about trying to get end-to-end tests before we move it to beta, but I wanted to make a request that maybe we do it after moving to beta. I have an end-to-end test, it passes, but like the images that we have currently don't have basically there are some missing, like because runc doesn't have a version of release that supports ID map mounting, like, and we rely on user namespaces to use proc map type. I'm having trouble adding end-to-end tests. I'm like in the process of adding a cryo job that uses crun, which does have support for runc features. So we like will be able to test it, but since it's code freeze today, I want to just make a a request to move forward with beta and then update the test by test freeze.
How confident you are that test will be written? Like, is there any potential blockers on that?
I've written the tests. I've basically gotten to the point where like they passed locally on my cryo node. It's just that we don't have a node alpha feature job with cryo right now. And also one that uses crun, but the crun is on Fedora CoreOS. So it's like, and the test infra PR that I have up, like will be able to test it. It just like, some things have to trickle through. So I'm feeling confident.
So I think one more thing I noticed, like this PR is dependent on reviews on SIG auth. So do we have anyone engaged from SIG auth if it were to make it this week?
I unfortunately haven't heard from anyone. That's another follow-up that I needed to do. I tried poking some folks, but haven't heard anything yet. I was gonna I need to post on the SIG Slack channel. So that's a good reminder. Thank you. But I get like the piece where we're, I'm just double checking something. Yeah, so I do need to get some SIG auth review. So yeah, I'll also do that in the background. But often people wait for like the owning SIG to go through reviews first. So if folks would take a look.
Yeah, I can make a pass. If anyone else has the time, they can also wait.
Cool. That's all, as long as there aren't any issues with that strategy. Thank you.
With that, we are at the end of our agenda.
I have one item I added just to bring awareness. It looks like as of this morning, all the cryo really all the cryo tests have started failing. We're still looking into the issue why. I don't know if like we should consider like I know since we're on the tail end of code freeze by the end of today, I think we're trying to look into that, but I don't know if we consider this a release blocker. I just wanted to bring it up. Like it's pretty much every cryo test is failing right now. We're still looking into why, what caused it.
We are
Is
not
the
at,
new image?
we are not at
Is
this stage.
the
We think about.
okay.
Go ahead.
Manu, is there anyone upgrade of the image for the cryo test?
I don't think so. Peter, do you know if we change anything?
Actually,
the operating system
a
image?
little bit of background on the investigation we've done already. This is coming from the kubelet basically failing because of SC Linux, but we're talking about it a little bit in the background. And I think the SC Linux label on the kubelet is actually wrong. So I don't think that this, in my opinion, knowing what I know right now, I don't think this will end up being a blocker because I think that the test is testing the incorrect thing. And the kubelet should have a different label. And the label that the kubelet should have shouldn't be blocked from doing what it's doing now. So I think Harshall's doing a little bit of investigation, doing a bit of bisect testing just to see like what changed, but I think I have an idea at least of a direction we could take it. And I, at the current point, don't think that we should block on it.
Okay, all right. Yeah, let us know if you need anything.
Yeah, so I guess, I mean, my only concern is just this is in the release section as a informing one. So I guess we'll say we're okay. Like, I mean, right now, like all the cryo, like no one can actually test any cryo runtime features because the tests all, like they won't start up. So I guess
When did they start the problems? Do we know?
about 5 hours ago.
Okay, thanks.
No, wait.
As
Yeah.
long as it's not blocking pre-submits, and we are still not on test free, so we still have time to fix this. So it's not like we must
Yeah.
fix it today. I mean, ideally we need to fix it as soon as possible, but we still have time between code freeze and test freeze to fix bugs. That's why we do bug triage tomorrow.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's all. Just want to bring it up. We're looking into it. Hopefully we can find the reason why.
Yeah, if any pre-submits are blocked, then we can disable pre-submit temporarily.
No, luckily we don't test cryo in pre-submits, so nothing is blocked there.
Not required though, like we have optional, but yeah.
Yeah,
We can keep it.
no required jobs run hit the cryo path.
Okay, with that, any other last minute items?
Hey, Sohan, I know and Sergey is also here. Any more items pending on the conf.d beta? Sergey, do you think you got the updates you wanted from Sohan?
Which beta? Sorry.
This is the conf.d config
Droplet
merge.
config? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no problem with code. I mostly want to make sure that documentation is super clear and we can satisfy scenarios. I still have, like, just yesterday I commented last comment about how we merge maps, and I want to understand how it works. But rather than that, code-wise, I don't think we have problems there.
Okay, all right. So if I think I added some comments as well to add examples for maps. If we want to see some more, I think Sergey, we can ask Sohan and we can add that.
Okay. Just really want to avoid situation when we release a feature and next thing we do is add some crazy hack around it because we didn't think of scenario.
Yeah, the all alpha processing, I'm not sure like if we look for it, we'll have to check the code if we look at it first, or it's dependent upon the order. I'm thinking it shouldn't be, or the code can be adjusted to always look at it first.
Okay. With that, I think we done with our agenda.
So I just need to add one more thing, Sergey. So if you see that PR, so currently there are two PRs tracking for that particular feature. The one is the doc PR and second is the actual PR for the code. Do you think it's feasible to get the actual code PR merged and probably we can simultaneously work on the doc PR because the doc freeze date is like the next month or probably the current one, but on March 26th.
So you're asking if we can merge the upgrade to beta before we lock down on documentation how it works?
Yeah, because I haven't seen any updates from team, I guess. I think we are looking for his update before we can push the documentation. And that PR is specifically meant for the main branch. And then I'll create another branch for 1.30 dev that will have updates specific to 1.30, but we already have updates to the main branch.
Okay, can you ping me offline and we will decide?
Sure.
Thank you. Yeah, I think we reached the end of agenda. Thank you, everybody. Have a good
Right,
rest of your
thanks.
day. And please spend time reviewing code and triaging bugs. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.